What is going on, you little cunts? It is of course your boy Wolfgang here today. Now I don't know how many of you cunts have actually noticed this before, but the Americans actually say things a little bit different to us over here in Australia. Now I did touch on this subject a little bit in my Australia Day video, and for an example of what I'm talking about, I'm going to show you guys a little clip from that video now. And another thing that's really weird is how we have certain names for things and Americans have completely different names for the exact same thing. The first thing that comes to mind are potato gems. I'm not being biased here because I honestly think that they look like they should be called potato gems, not tater tots. I know calling them gems is kind of a little bit weird, but I mean, come on, tater tots. Now I kind of felt like, for the good of Australia and America, there needed to be someone out there, some cunt out there needed to put these words up against each other and see which one is actually right. And you guys already know that that cunt could only be Inspector Wolfgang. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ, roll the clip already. Now I want you guys to know right now that I will not be biased towards either of these great countries. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Oi, oi, oi! Terribly sorry about that. Do not know what got into me then. Okay, so the first one I want to get into here is what the Americans call drugs. Now over here in Australia, we go to the chemist or pharmacy to get our medicine, whereas the Americans like to call their medicine drugs and go to drugstores. Which is right, don't get me wrong, they are called drugs technically, but where I come from, drugs are bad. I don't know why I keep running into the frame like this, but here in Australia, if you go down to the corner to get some drugs from the drugstore, do you know what that means? It means you're going to buy some crack from the local drug dealer, which in my case would happen to be my nan. Nan, stop selling drugs, cunt, you're gonna end up back in jail. Basically, if you say drug or drugs in Australia, it always means the bad kind of drugs. Nah, fuck off, Nan, I'm just talking about drugs. I didn't say I had drugs. Okay, so the next set of words that I would like to talk about, do you get it, cunt? Words, talking. I am terribly sorry for what you just had to witness. So the next one I feel like I need to address is one that I always hear on the fucking tally cunt, or as the Americans like to say, TV. Fucking boring. I mean, there's no bias in this video at all. So basically, this thing that I constantly hear on TV shows is peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Now, there's nothing wrong with peanut butter at all, but what in the name of baby Buddha is the jelly part about? Isn't it that shit that grows in my fucking belly button? I don't want that shit nowhere near my sandwich, bro. Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably would. Oi, Nan cunt, have we got any bread? From my understanding, what they consider jelly is actually jam, or some sort of form of jam, which I guess does grow under your toenail, so I don't know which one I prefer. Belly button jelly or toenail jam? It's a fucking tough decision, boys. Now I don't know who's right here, but where I come from, we consider this jelly. It's short for gelatin, mate. Use your brain, dickhead. Now I just searched the word jelly in Google Images, and just look at how many things show up that have anything to do with jam at all. Now that's fucking 4 out of 39. Now if I do that math in my head, percentage of 4 out of 39. My calculations would come to exactly 10.26%, which obviously I'm gonna round it off to 0%! And that is statistics right there, and statistics don't lie. Fucking science, bitch! I think Australia's gonna have to take the W on that one. Okay, so if I were to ask you guys right now, what is the name of the place where you take all your old shit and you throw it away and you dump it there? You might call it a dump, but I might call it a tip, because you see, to me, this is a dump, and to me, this is a tip. To the Americans, this is a dump, and this is a tip. Now here in Australia, when we go out to eat, we do not pay tips. We're fucking stingy poor motherfuckers. We are not paying a tip. We just paid all that money for that fucking meal, dude. And you know, either way, they're just gonna end up spitting in your food or taking a dump in it. And yes, I'm using the word dump meaning taking a shit. Not the dump you're thinking about, which I call a tip, while I'm trying to sit here and explain to you how tips work in Australia in this dump. Fucking glad we cleared that one up, fellas. But honestly, I think we might have to give this one to Uncle Sam. Because when you go there, you do dump your rubbish there. You don't tip your rubbish in there. That's gonna take too long. Hurry up, cunt. We've got a fucking Wiggles concert to get to. So for the next one, we have this item, which is what we call in the outback a billy. You know, we also call this one a billy, but we're not going to talk about that one. Nah, fuck off, Nan. I'm not talking about that kind of billy. I'm talking about billy as in the pot. No, not that kind of pot either. So that's what we call a billy over here in Australia, but this is what Americans call a billy. Or this. Oh my god, what the fuck is that? Kill it with fire. So over here in Australia, we have a little season called autumn, which if you Americans out there don't know what that is, that's basically fall to you guys. Now, while doing some research on the subject, I just searched it in Google. I didn't even click on anything. It came up right at the top. Look at that. That's nice, isn't it? It actually says here that the word autumn is derived from the French. Oh, isn't that nice? The French. Aren't we so romantic over here in Australia? But hang on, what's this? Fall is a Germanic word. I fucking knew the Nazis had something to do with this word. It all makes sense now. Nuclear fallout. I don't know. Out of good faith and for all of humanity, I have to give this one to Australia. I'm sorry. Alright, so I've got one more here that I want to cover. Alright, so picture yourself doing this for a second. You're at school, you're sitting there in class, and you're getting a little bit bored, right? So you start scribbling a couple of things in your notepad, you know, you're having a bit of a draw. And then all of a sudden, you look up and you realize your teacher's just standing there. Also, this might be early signs of mild autism, but hey, I wouldn't count on it though. I think that one was a little bit more offensive than it was funny. Ah, fuck it, the whole video's been offensive. Anyway, back to the story. So your teacher's standing there, right? He's been there for the last 10 minutes, you know? You realise I'm in a bit of strife now. Well, in America, they call this a doodle. And the process of making this is called doodling. But to the Australians, this is a fucking doodle. You're just sitting there having a good time with your doodle and your teacher's been there for 10 minutes watching you. That's all kinds of fucked up, man. You go to jail if you were that teacher in Australia. Or prison, as the Americans like to call it. I tell you what though, mate, you'll see a lot of fucking doodles in there. Imagine your mate being like, oh, what'd you do on the weekend, bro? Oh, not much, bro. I just stayed home and doodled your mum. What the fuck did you just say to me, cunt? Yo, chill, dude. It's a picture. It's a picture. But anyway, you little cunts, I think that's about it for this video. I've got plenty more where these came from, though. So if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on it. If this video gets 800 likes, I will show a picture of my doodle in the next video. Anyway, that's it for me, boys. Peace.